Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we're taking up the tale of castard the dragon. और इस पोएम में हम देखेंगे कि ओजिन नैश जो एक चिल्ड्रंस राइटर हैं, चिल्ड्रन राइटिंग पोएम्स फॉर द चिल्ड्रन, तो उनकी एक पोएम जो मैंने पहले कहा आपको, द टेल ऑफ द कास्टर्ड ड्रैगन. इसमें किस तरह ही इज पोर्ट्रेइंग द स्टोरी ऑफ द फेवरेट ड्रैगन, good dragon. When we call castard the dragon, it means a dragon that could be made, that can be made pet. तो इस तरह ये बच्चों के लिए पोएम है. बच्चों को पोएम से यानी पोइट्री से थोड़ा सा आशना कराता है, थोड़ा सा अवेयर कराता है कि इसका एक अहम चीज़ जो इसकी पोइट्री में पाई जाती है वो ये कि ये हर लफ्ज़ को अपने तरीके से राइम करता है. मतलब जो अल्फाज इनको तोड़ जोड़ करके राइमिंग बनाता है. He has invented a new kind of rhyming the words and poetry. तो आज की जो पोएम है मैं इसको पढ़ता हूँ और आप देखिए, अगर आपके पास कलम है और अगर आपके पास आपके सामने किताब पड़ी है तो इस किताब को आप देखेंगे. ये पोएम है, इट इज़ 102 पेज इन योर टेक्स्ट बुक. तो ज़रा मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ, यू विल गेट इट. ये पोएम है, दिस इज़ द पोएम. तो ज़रा पढ़ते हैं, पढ़ने के बाद हमें शायद सही से इसका okay, there was something wrong with the camera. Blenda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red dragon and a relio little pet dragon. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, and she called him Castard. Castard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and a relio dragger on his toes. Blenda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as tiger in a rage, but Castard cried for a nice, safe cage. Blenda tickled him, she tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in a little red wagon at the relio cowardly dragon. Blenda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said "Wreck," which is giggling for a mouse. And Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Castard cried for a nice, safe cage. Suddenly they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Meow, cried Ink, and ooh, cried Blenda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right hand, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that big pirate meant no good. Blenda paled, she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard fled with a terrible yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little mouse Blink strategically mouse hold, but Up jumped Castard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like iron in a dungeon, with a clatter and a clank and a gangling squirm. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. The pirate gaped at Blenda's dragon and gulped some grog for his pocket flagon. He fired two blitz, but they didn't hit, and Castard gobbled him every bit. Blenda embraced him, Mustard licked him. No one mourned for the pirate victim. Ink and blink in glee did gyre around Dragon. They ate the pirate. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. I have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We would have been 3 times as brave, we think. And Castard said, I quite agree that everybody is brave than me. Blenda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her really little pet dragon. Blenda is as brave as barrel full of beers, and Ink Blink chase lights down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as tiger in a rage, but Castard keeps crying for a safe, nice cage. Okay, let's go for its explanation and paraphrases. Blenda lives with her pet animals, and there is a wagon, a driving cart in which they all live. There's a house, White House, she calls it, and in the White House these all live friendly. Blenda lived in a little white house. She lives in a little white house with a little black kitten, and black kitten is the offspring you see of this cat, and a little gray mouse, and there is little gray mouse, and a little yellow dog. There's another animal, that's dog, and a little red wagon, and then there is a cart like driving item, and a relio little pet dragon. Relio indicates laziness. It indicates something not good, not beautiful, something uneven. Dragon. Why relio? It is something symbolic, not trustworthy, not something which she thinks be trusted, because at the end she proves all the loyal, all the faithful, but it's looked down upon. Why? Because of its activities, because of its cowardness, because of its laziness, clumsiness, courteousness. That's why the poet is trying to use those words which actually are not used in poetry normally, but he has chosen words in order to give a kind of flavor of interest in the poem. Now, the name of the little black kitten was Ink. She had named these animals according to her own way. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink. The black kitten was named Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Blink. The baby cat was called Ink, and the baby mouse was called Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard. It was called Mustard. The dog was called Mustard, but the dragon was a coward, and she called him Castard. In order to make the rhyme scheme sound beautiful, Mustard and Castard, Blink and Ink, Blink, Ink and Blink, and then there is wagon, dragon, house, mouse. These are rhyming words. At the end of every line, we will see that each line ends with a word, and the next immediately following line ends with the same syllable at the end. As we see ous in the first line, and in the second line ous in the second line. So there is a and bb rhyme scheme, maybe following the entire poem. And in the third, now the name of the little black kitten was Ink. जो दूसरा स्टेंजा 4 लाइन्स का शुरू होता है, तो ये शुरू होता है इंक से, और इसकी दूसरी लाइन ब्लिंक है, यानी I N K means both the lines end at INK. So these are rhyming words, these are rhyming syllables, rhyming lines, in other words. And the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, and she called him castard. So mustard and castard, TARD and TRD, these are again rhyming words. These are again rhyming lines. So the rhyme scheme in the poem is house, mouse, wagon, dragon, ink, blink, mustard and castard. A, B, A, B. This is the rhyme scheme. A, B, B, A, B, B. This is the rhyme scheme in the first and second stanza. Let's go for their detailed analysis. O.G. Nash is writing for children, so he uses the words and the flavor and the temperament of the children, and he sees how children are pleased, how these pets actually live together with this little girl in a little white house, where all they lived peacefully, where they lived with fun, and where they lived with harmony, where every animal is as faithful, as brave, as gentle as in a human society people live. So house, mouse, wagon, dragon, mouse, wagon, dragon, ink, blink. These are some animals and some items. They live together. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink. The baby cat, she named it Ink, and the little mouse was called Blink. Ink and Blink, different animals. Who are they? Who are these different animals? It is black kitten, it's little mouse, and it is pet baby dog, yellow dog was sharp, puppy we call. So they were living together, but the dragon was cowed, and out of these animals only dragon was cowed, as they think she was cowed. She called him castard. Why why she has been called castard? The poet used the word castard for this dragon, though dragon is not all a lazy animal. It's always ferocious, it's animal, it's always dangerous, it's always a life-taking animal. So it was a kind of castard, it was a kind of pet made, so it was called castard. And the second thing, it was a bit lazy, a bit clumsy. Castard the dragon had big sharp teeth. Now the description of the castard. Castard the dragon had big sharp teeth. Big sharp, नोकीलेदार, तेज दांत उसके, and spikes on the top. उसके top पे spikes थे जिनको कांटे जैसे. Top of him, and scales underneath. Then there were scales. Scales, you understand, मतलब मछली क्या होते हैं वो, scales like इसी तरह. Mouth like a fireplace. Its mouth looked like a fireplace. It looked very ferocious. It was a big mouth and sharp teeth in it. So it was very dangerous, very pernicious, in other words. Mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and its nose was like chimney, means big nose, capacious nose, and wide nose, wooden, I must say. Relio trelio dragger on his toes. Relio trelio, utli putli. Relio trelio means uneven draggers. कांटे, यहाँ पे कांटे कहेंगे. ड्रैगर इज एक्चुअली चाकू, तो कांटे जैसे. ऑन इज टोज, टोज इसके इसके पैरों, जो इसकी पैरों की उंगलियां हैं, इट लुक लाइक ड्रैगर्स. ब्लेंडा वाज एज ब्रेव. ब्लेंडा हरसेल्फ वाज ब्रेव. कितनी ब्रेव? एज फुल ऑफ बियर्स, बैरल फुल ऑफ बियर्स. उतनी ताकत थी, उतनी ब्रेवरी थी उसमें जितने एक बैरल ब्रेव में हो सकते हैं. मीन्स अ ग्रुप ऑफ बियर्स. एंड एक ब्लिंक चेज लाइन्स. इंक और ब्लिंक भी काम नहीं थे, वो भी बड़े बड़े शेरों के पीछे पीछा करते थे, यानी उनको दौड़ाते थे, हराते थे. डाउन द स्टेयर्स, उनको भी भगाते थे. मास्टर्ड वॉज एज ब्रेव एज टाइगर इन ए रेज. मास्टर्ड भी कुछ काम नहीं था, जितना टाइगर अगर किसी पंजरे में बंद हो तो कितना चिल्लाता है, कितना रोर करता है, बिल्कुल उसी तरह मास्टर्ड भी था. बट कास्टर्ड क्राइड फॉर. कास्टर्ड की पिक्चर इट हैज़ बीन पोर्ट्रेड लेजी. क्यों? इट आस्क्ड फॉर अस नाइस सेफ केज. यह हमेशा मतलब अपने बिल में छुप जाता था इनके हिसाब से. ब्लेंडा tickled him. Blenda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Unmerciful, why? Not having a sense of mercy, not having a sense of adjustment, sociality, all this. That's why she has been looked down. It has been looked down by her for some time. Ink, Blink, and Master, they rudely called Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon. They all lived in that wagon, and they were giggling and they were laughing at this dragon, at Relio cowardly dragon. Blenda giggled till she shook the house. Blenda जब हंसती और कहती तो कितना कि पूरा घर इससे गरज उठता. And Blenda blink said wreck, which is giggling for a mouse. वो Blenda blink said wreck. Whenever Blink said something, it said wreck, which was a kind of laughter for the mouse. Ink and Master rudely asked his age. और इंक एंड मास्टर इसकी एज पूछते थे, यार तेरी एज क्या है, तेरी उम्र क्या है, बूढ़े हो गए हो. व्हेन कास्टर्ड क्राइड नाइस सेफ केज. और तब जब ये इसकी उम्र पूछते तो इट वुड आस्क फॉर द नाइस सेफ प्लेस वेयर इट कुड hide itself. Suddenly they heard a nasty sound. One day they hear a nasty sound, a very unwanted sound. Nasty means something threatening sound. Heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled. Now it was the turn of Mustard to growl. आवाज़ें निकालता है इसको डरानी. एंड दे ऑल लुक्ड अराउंड, और इस तरह आगे पीछे देखते हैं. मैव क्राइड इंक. नाउ इंक स्टार्टेड crying meow, and oo started crying Blenda. For there was a pirate. It was because pirate, a broker, pirate, somebody who is a villain, somebody who breaks into a house and destroys everything and takes everything with it, was just climbing in the window. It means actually veranda. So pistol in his left hand. It was so ferocious. He was so ferocious. This pirate was so ferocious that he was having pistol in both his hands, in his left hand and in his right hand, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. Now one more, knife dragger. It was a cutlass that was in his. He has put it like in his teeth. His beard was black. He was wearing a black beard. One leg was wood, but he was not physically fit. He was having one leg broken, so he was having a wooden leg. I mean, Besaki. It was clear that pirate mean no good. और इसे पता चलता कि पायरेट फिजिकली इतना जो खतरनाक दिखता था उतना नहीं था. Blenda paled. जब ये मंजर देखा तो ब्लेंडा pale, खुश्क हो गई. She started trembling with fear. She cried, help, help. Now she had the words of help uh, on her lips. But Mustard fled with a terrible yelp. Mustard इस तरह भाग गया. इंक ट्रिकल डाउन टू द बॉटम, और इंक का काम था वो भी अपनी बिल में छुप गया. एंड लिटिल माउस ब्लिंक स्ट्रेटजिकली माउस होल, वो भी अपनी बिल में छुप गया. बट अप जंप्ड कास्टर्ड. नाउ इट वाज द टर्न ऑफ कास्टर्ड, क्योंकि कास्टर्ड अपने आप को छुपा नहीं सकती, तो इस तरह इसने क्या, स्नोटिंग लाइक एन इंजन स्टार्टेड, स्नोटिंग लाइक एन इंजन. इंजन जैसी आवाज़ें निकालने लगी. Clashed his tail. When it clashed his tail like iron in a dungeon, and there was a big sound that was enough to threaten this pirate, because when it clashed its when it's moved its tail, it would produce many sounds. It would destroy things around it. With a little clatter and a clank and a gaggling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. It pounced upon the dragon, pounced upon, and the pirate. Here is a simile: pirate like a robin. Robin is a bird that is hankering for the insects, for the worms, as a robin is always watching its prey and then attacking it and picking it in its beak. Similarly, Sam did the castard the dragon. He went at the pirate. वो गया pirate पे like a robin. यहाँ पे simile है. Pirate has been symbolized with robin at a worm, and this castard has been symbolized here with robin and pirate with worm. Worm पायरेट रॉबिन की तरह पायरेट ने इस रॉबिन की तरह कास्टर्ड ने इस पायरेट को पकड़ लिया, जैसे वर्म को पकड़, जैसे किसी इंसेक्ट को पकड़कर ले उड़ता है. पायरेट grabbed a Blenda's dragon, gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 blades, but they didn't hit. Now the scene of pirate. What could pirate do? Pirate tried a lot. उसने हाथ पाँव मारे. He took something weaponry from its pockets. He fired 2 blades. He tried to fire dragon, but all the blades missed the target. When they missed the target, the castard gobbled him. Castard ने उसको gobble कर दिया. यानी gobble मतलब निगल लिया. Every bit Blenda embraced him. Now Blenda came to embrace Castard. Master licked him on no one mourn for the pirate victim. और इस बेचारे pirate पे कोई मातम किया नहीं गया. Ink and blink in glee. Glee means खुशी. Did pirate. They are getting actually very happy. Around the dragon, that is the pirate. Garret and pirate are rhyming words again. But presently up spoke little dog Master. अब कुत्ते का बच्चा यानी कुत्ता बोलता है, I would have been twice a brave. ये कहते हैं मैं दो गुना ब्रेव हो सकता था if I hadn't plastered. अगर मैं डरता नहीं तो मैं 2 गुना ये होता, क्या कहते हैं इसको, ब्रेव यानी बहादुर. एंड अप स्पोक, इसी तरह इंक ने भी बोला. इसने क्या बोला? अप स्पोक ब्लिंक. ब्लिंक ने भी ये बोला, वी वुड हैव बीन 3 times ब्रेव. हम 3 गुना ब्रेव होते इससे, यानी कास्टर्ड से. वी थिंक हो सकता था. एंड कास्टर्ड सेड आई क्वाइट एग्री. और कास्टर्ड ने कहा बिल्कुल मैं एग्री करता हूँ आपसे, क्योंकि आप बिल में छुप गए थे. दैट एवरीबडी इज ब्रेव देन मी. Everybody is brave than me. Blenda still lives in her little white house with little black kitten and a little grey mouse. Blenda अब उन्हीं pets के साथ अपनी white house में रहती है. And a little yellow dog and a little yellow red wagon and a really little pet dragon. Blenda is as brave as a barrel full of beers, and Ink Blink chase lines down the stairs. Master is as brave as tiger. Now the theme of the poem is that anything that we underestimate, sometimes we underestimate somebody because we think through the activities of that thing or that person, we sometimes ignore them on the basis that they don't actually put forward, they don't brag, in other words. But at the time when time and situations create such circumstances with these, relio trelio cowardly things prove very brave, they prove very heroic. This is the theme of this poem. Nothing and nobody should be ignored, nobody should be, underestimated. Why? Because God has given, qualities to everything, to every human, to every animal. All are equipped, bestowed with, divine qualities. So we should not ignore any of them. They all are important, they all are needed in their right times. So we should not look down upon anything. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll be doing the glossary and rest of the, issues related to the poem. Thank you very much for today.